Hey guys, this is Jeff, or SpaceHamster, and I'm coming at you with another Building Blocks episode. This time it's going to be on Elgato and game capture on older consoles. So if you know that there's pretty much only two ways that you can get video from your consoles is with a capture card or if you emulate. And I was kind of crutching on emulation for a while just because the convenience factor. You can just use Fraps or Bandicam on your computer and just do it that way. But I finally got an Elgato and I've had it for a couple months now, or a few months now, so I've been using it for the past few videos, and there isn't really a ton of really good high quality tutorials out there. So we're gonna take a little bit of a dive into Elgato. This is not scripted, by the way, so this is just like an impromptu Building Blocks episode. So let's get started. I'm going to show you guys the box, I'm going to show you guys all the components, and it's already hooked up so you can see everything, and I'm going to show you the back of the TV and everything. So let's get started. Cut to it, me! This is the box that I got. It's not the newest version, and the newest version isn't as good as the older version for a couple of reasons, and mainly that's because of the, I think it doesn't come with the composite dongle anymore, so it's more of like a really HD. But this is the version that you want if you want to do old video games like we're doing here, and I'm bringing you guys over. So here's my setup right now. The monitor, this monitor or TV is actually off to the side so that I can show you guys the back and everything like that. So let's just get started on the Wii. It's on the Wii, and I'm using the composite on the Wii. There's no HDMI plug or anything on that. Sorry, I had to sync my audio. I'm actually recording this screen at the same time so that you can see that and I can cut to it. So basically I have the Wii set up. I don't have the sensor bar because you don't really need that right now. But the power's in and the composite is in. And this is the game capture unit. So, how is it set up? Well, basically the main thing that you're looking for that comes with it in this one is this dongle right here. Forget about the red, white, yellow that's plugged in. That's the Wii. This dongle lets you do everything from composite to component. So, and what's the difference between those? If you don't know what the difference between composite and component is, component's the HD. So green, blue, red, that is HD, but it's not 1080p, it's 1080i usually. And that stands for interlace and progressive. So 1080p is like the highest you can get, and well, except for 4K now. But for this video's sake, we're not even doing component. So if you have a component TV, you're going to need this, and if you have composite, you're going to need this setup right here. And composite is red, white, yellow. So this is basically the cord that you get on almost every old console, except for Sega and anything before Super Nintendo. So pretty much like NES, Atari, any of that kind of stuff. But this will be the setup that you're using most of the time. This dongle right here, let me actually... So basically what you have here is the red, white, and then you actually plug yellow into the red on this dongle. So that's really important, and that all goes into the AV in settings. So you do it that way. And I'm going to set that back up. So let's see. So we got yellow goes in to that, and red goes to red, and white goes to white, and it should be back up. Alright, we're back up. We're back in business. Good. Okay. So, how do you set this up, though? That was just a little bit of the dongle. So, you have the basic unit, and you have two things on the out. So, whenever you have to play from your TV, you need a compatible TV, by the way, so you need something with a HDMI and the other thing that you need as well. So, well, actually most of the time you just need HDMI if you're running through the Elgato. If you want to play your games, obviously you need the setup, and there's a way to bypass that, which I'll show you guys in a little bit if you don't have composite or component plugs. Mainly for composite right now. But if you don't have composite plugs on your TV, I'll show you how to bypass that by spending a little bit of money. But basically, you have the USB power, and you have to plug that in. It's actually plugged into the front of my computer right there. So you plug that in, that's how you power it, and that's how your computer picks it up. And then this is the HDMI that came with it. So this goes to the back of your TV. And here's the back of my TV right here. This is just an LG, it was like 150 bucks or something like that to get this TV, and it has one of everything. So it has composite and component on here, but it does the same thing as like the dongle. So basically I think it's the green that is actually a yellow as well, so I would do left-right audio, which is white and red, and then green, I believe, if I wasn't running through this. But since I am, you basically can use the HDMI channel by the HDMI out to display it on the screen at the same time. Now, I learned something about that there is actually some problems with that as well. So when it's not like a problem with the Elgato, it's a problem with your TV. So if you have this exact setup and you're not getting a picture like this, and it's not going through it all, then basically something is wrong with your TV. Like your TV can't downscale or upscale whatever you have. It doesn't have that power. So if that's the case, that leads me to the next thing. You have to get one of these. This is just a mini AV2 HD converter. So basically what this does is you plug in your composite, red, white, yellow. So you got red, white, yellow here. You plug that in, and then boom, HDMI. This is an upscaling box. So basically, if you have to, as a last resort, use one of these, then you use one of these, plug in your, I would plug in the Wii, or like SNES or whatever, plug it in, can't really see that well, plug it in here, and then you need another HDMI. So you would just plug the HDMI and then string the HDMI to the TV. Or actually, you would string the HDMI to the Elgato, and then the Elgato HDMI would go back out to your TV. And I did that actually for a stream during PAX when Jimmy was here, and we streamed using this thing, and it worked fine. There wasn't actually any delay or anything like that either. So so basically, if you need that, hold on, boom. AV2 HDMI upscale 1080p. Now, you're gonna have to be careful when you're ordering these, because if you get one of these, they're like 20 bucks or 15 bucks or something like that. But make sure you get the right one. You want HDMI out and the input in the composite input in. You don't want to mix them up, because that would suck, and then it would just be useless to you. There's also a little toggle on this. Let me actually try and zoom in on that. Whoop, there. Okay, so you can switch it between 720p and 1080p, and it's USB powered, which is just a regular AC adapter right there. But yeah, so that's that. So if you run into problems with the basic setup that we have right here, then that's it. Also, when you're on, switch to the other view now. When you're on the other view, basically you can go to your settings, and when you're on your settings, you can adjust the different types. So like, if you have HDMI, obviously you're running through HDMI, you want to be on the specific type. You don't want to mess this up and select the wrong type, because then you just won't get a picture. There's also like advanced settings, but generally speaking, I've had no problems with this so far. So you just set it up to what it is. So we're not on HDMI, obviously, so that's going to go away, and the signal is going to go away completely. Everything went away as soon as I chose the wrong setting, because that's not what we're using. So go to Composite, and this is the screen that I wanted to show you. So this explains how you plug everything in when you have the toggle, or the analog toggle thing that comes with dongle thing, not toggle, what am I saying? The analog that comes with the Elgato, which is this one right here. So it's telling you to plug in the yellow into the red and everything like that. So it shows you what you're supposed to do and what your setup is supposed to be. So as long as you don't confuse in and out and just have everything plugged in, it should be good, and you should be good to go for recording. And then when you're done with that, you basically just go down to the button and click record. Wow, wowie zowie. The file sizes aren't too big or anything like that, and this was just, I mean, obviously it's not going to be as big as Fraps because you have the converter box down here doing everything for you, so it's not as big of a deal. But yeah, that should be a little help if you don't know anything about Elgatos or what they do, or you're just interested. So if you guys have any questions, I don't know, just shoot me up on like Tumblr or something like that. So that should be it for your guys' like first little look at the Elgato if you're interested in getting one. I think they're about 180 to 200 bucks or something like that. They're not super cheap, but that's why it took me so long to get one, is because I couldn't really forfeit that kind of money for something like that when I could just emulate it and use Bandicam or something, which is like 40 bucks. So basically, if you want to do a different setup though than that, then instead of red, white, yellow, then you have to do the different settings on the Elgato like I just showed you, and you have to have obviously another HDMI cord because you're going from the console to the Elgato and then from the Elgato back to the TV and to your computer. So you would need two HDMIs. It does come with one, but it's like a 2 foot or like even 1 foot HDMI cable. So I wouldn't really rely on that too much, but it just kind of gives you an idea of like what you're working with right away. So that's why I have this set up right now, where the TV is right next to my computer, because not only does that make it easier for recording, because the USB power for the Elgato is really short. So like it literally only has like, you know, like this much. It's like 4 feet. So, and you can't use USB extenders on it either. They won't pick it up, which I figured out the hard way because I went and bought some, and I tried to string it from the living room and they just don't work at all, not even one. Unless maybe they were shot themselves, I don't know. But that should be a little visual tutorial on how to do it. I know that there hasn't been very many good ones out there for some reason. They're all like super dark and stuff too. So hopefully this one helps you understand how to use your Elgato a little bit. One thing I did not show you is that it does support S-Video as well. So you have the S-Video cable right here. There isn't very many consoles that use the S-Video, but this is basically here if you need to record your computer. So you can do, if you have an older video card, you can get an S-Video or an S-Video built into like your laptop or something like that. You can record your computer. The only problem is you need another computer if you're trying to record a computer. So actually maybe you don't, but I guess it depends on your setup. But that's a more complicated setup. That's just the basic setup for how you do older consoles, not including the super old ones. But that's it for this little building blocks on the Elgato. I hope you guys learned something, and I hope maybe this helps you understand the Elgato a little bit and maybe make a little bit of an informed decision. Now, I haven't done a ton of research on the new one, but I believe it doesn't come with the dongle that I had, which is the one where you need to convert component or composite in. So that's it for this little look at the Elgato. I hope you guys learned something. Yet again, I said that already. Okay, goodbye.